Hi, my name is Courtney Simpson and I'm 28 years old. I remember as a child growing up, I used to play pretend school. I used to line my Barbie dolls and my teddy bears up against, the wall and in my bedroom. And I had this really, really big chalkboard. And I was a teacher, they were the students. I loved it. And I always say, when I grow up, I want to be a teacher. As kids, we always have, dream jobs that we want, and people ask us, we're so adamant about it. And, it's like we know what we want to be when we get older. However, it didn't go for me like that. And I'm going to say that because I went to college. My first year, I did go for early childhood education. To me, it was hard, and maybe because I wasn't mentally prepared for college the way I thought I was. So I changed my major to human services. I tend to like human service. I did human service with a minor in psychology. And then also, too, I landed a job working for SPIN, Special People in the Northeast. And I used to work with individuals with intellectual disabilities, and I did the behavioral health unit part. So I dealt with a lot of, crises and elopements and, a lot of people who had very, very, very challenging behaviors. I'm like, okay, great, cool. I'm going to go get my degree in human services. I could be a director over here or a case manager or something. But then also, too, it's like, was I really, really happy in what I was doing? So I graduated college with my degree, and I had found out, with my degree, I can sub for the Philadelphia School District through Kelly. You just needed a bachelor's degree. My schedule at Spin was very, very convenient because I worked 4 to 12, just bookings, which was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I'm like, cool, during the weekday, I can make some extra money. Not knowing that every day going in there, picking up assignments at different schools, I actually loved it. I wasn't like, watching the clock, waiting to get off. I wasn't tired. I wasn't burned out. I wasn't like, oh my God, I don't want to be here. I actually enjoyed it more than my own job to the point where I didn't even want an 8 to 4 at my job because I knew it would be inconvenience to what I was doing. So I did it for a while, and then I said to myself, I want to do this full time. I want to teach. I want to be a teacher. What do I have to do? So, I started reaching out to other educators that I knew. I was calling out 440. And it seemed like the only way I was able to do it was to go back to school for a degree in education. So I looked into Lincoln program, and they had the early childhood education dual with the special ed cert. I hopped on it immediately. Went through the program. During the time at the program, I landed a job for Camelot, and then I wound up landing a job for the School District of Philadelphia on an emergency certification. First year coming in, I had K-2, autistic support. Woo! First of all, it was an ABA RAN program, Applied Behavior Analysis Grant Program, and the classroom was not what I was thinking it would be. I'm thinking like, okay, kindergarten kids, story time, centers, library, reading stories, books, writing ABCs, numbers, letters. It was nothing like that. Did it kill my desire to be a teacher? Absolutely not. It just made me see that K-2 at that age, especially with intellectual disabilities and being in special education, was not for me. However, I still love, they're my babies. I see them now because now I'm in the 6 to 8 and they're downstairs in the K-2 classroom. I still speak to them, I still give them hugs. I still love them as all. But working with them full time was not for me. I need the bigger kids. So now I have 6 to 8 autistic support. I love it. One thing I can say about my job is I always find myself constantly thinking. And when I say constantly thinking is constantly thinking, okay, what can I do better, to enhance my craft, my career? Like, especially when my kids go through challenges and they're having behaviors, okay, what can I do? What can I put in place to help them, deal with their behaviors, their challenges? Like, what are their goals? Like, are there goals that I created for them? Are they realistic? Can we meet them the way we need to meet them? If not, what can I do to change things? Having open communication with the parents, with other teachers in the building. And, I see myself, in the classroom with special education, but then also, too, I see myself being, the director of special ed, the one who's teaching other teachers how to be perfect in special education. And when I say perfect, I'm not saying like, nobody is perfect, but I'm saying how to do your job, but also do it right where you don't feel like you're burned out and you don't feel like it's not realistic. Like, I like to be real about everything that I say. Like, even like, me coming in last year in middle of the school year, do I feel like the support was there? Absolutely not. I came in the middle of the school year. It was like I was thrown to the wolves and I had to learn how to survive. So, this year, the teacher that came into my classroom, I communicated with her, like, hey, this doing this is this. Like, these are some things you're going to have to learn for yourself, some things you're going to have to find out for yourself. This needs to be like this needs to be like that. Here was some notes I took last year on certain things that, you have to have, certain tests you have to test on with. I gave her the guideline and the blueprint to everything so that she could have a successful year. And I could see myself being a leader to give other teachers, especially in special education, the blueprint. But not only that, but I love being knowledgeable, when it comes down to SPED. So for me to be able to be more knowledgeable and give that knowledge to others is what, I feel like I'm passionate about. I came into this program and I said, okay, I'm going to get my master's in, educational leadership principal cert. For one, I want the principal certification underneath my belt. Do I see myself being a principal within the next year? Absolutely not. I feel like I still need more time in the classroom. And then also I feel like I don't want to get away from special education. And it's so crazy because when I was going into my program, I heard a lot of people saying to me, oh, you better be careful, going into special education, because once you get in, it's hard to get out. If you ever really, really want to get out, they see you have that certification and they're like, oh, no, bring her in, because special education teachers are always needed. And it's so crazy because it's like I'm running towards the field versus trying to get up out of the field. My greatest, I can say honestly, like, my only fear that I have is, just being at a school in a building that's not the right fit for me, in the special education field. But other than that, I came into education because, I wanted to make a difference, in the lives of other children. And that's why I love, I love my urban community. I love working with, kids of my own, background and kids that I can say I can relate to. Because I like to tell, my kids all the time, like, look, Miss Simpson is from West Philly, okay? I understand how it may be at home. Like, I didn't grow up in a suburban area, but yet and still, I did what I had to do to, better myself in life. And if I could do it, you could do it too. Like, it's nothing stopping us, especially when you're a minority, because a few things I try to tell them, especially like, if I get a chance to talk to high school kids. Couple of things. For one, if you live in the low economic background, you can go to school for free. Granted, you have to pay it back. You will be in student loan debt, but you get grants. But you get an opportunity. You get that chance to go. Just want to go, have that drive to go and make it happen. And, I don't know. I guess I see myself, when people be like, oh, where you see yourself at, a few years from now. Honestly, I feel like I answer the question when I'm being forced to answer it. But do I know where I see myself at 5 years from now? Honestly, no. I just see myself, in the field of education. I see myself making more money. And, I see myself more knowledgeable and more smarter than what I am today. And I just see myself like, I want to be one of them people where, even somebody walk in my office and, they be like, oh, okay. She got it going on. She know this. She knows her job. She knows what's required. She knows what's expected of her. And I think that's the kind of person that I want to be. Like, and not just later down the line, but, for the rest of my life until I do decide to, retire and, come up out of the whole, special education field. But that's my passion. That's where I see myself at. That's where I want to be. So I'm not doubting it at all. Do I want to do a leadership aspect of it? Yes, a leadership role within special education. So once again, my name is Courtney Simpson, and I'm an educator because I love it. I love working with kids. I love what I do. I feel like, we have callings from God, and this was my calling. This was really, really, really my calling, and I can honestly say that. Thank you.